you next. Stay informed to stay empowered on.
This is CEMTV News at noon.
Hello and welcome to CEMTV News at noon. I am Francis Oyima Adet. Let's take a look at the headlines. University lecturers call for sweeping reforms in education over ill-prepared graduates. Federal Workers Union seek urgent meeting with Finance Minister over unpaid wage award and allowances. Plus, French authorities say more than 150 migrants rescued after boat catches fire in Channel. We'll bring you details of these stories and more in just a moment. Please stay.
This is CEMTV News at noon. This is CEMTV News at noon.
Many thanks for joining us, and sincere apologies for coming a little bit behind schedule. We begin from Rivers State with a report that lecturers of the Rivers State University have called for sweeping reforms, warning that the country is producing students who are ill-prepared for higher education and the modern world. They spoke during separate interviews with CEMTV News, stressing that a weak foundation at the primary and secondary school level continues to undermine the quality of learning across the country. A correspondent now completes the report.
Dr. Boma Omubopepo of the Department of Modern Languages, French, said Nigeria's educational system requires a total overhaul, citing poor oral expression, spelling, and critical thinking among students as evidence of a failing system. He attributed the situation to the poor implementation of education policies, the use of unqualified or improperly deployed teachers, and inadequate professional training.
So I don't know where to come from, but I know that if it is possible for government to provide some level of subvention for indigent students, it will make sense. In my days, I received a lot of bursary. They call it, what is it called now? From local government. I got some funds from local government to support my education. I got some funds from state government when I wanted to travel abroad, because as a French undergraduate at that time, it was mandatory for me to, school abroad for one whole year, as they call it year abroad. So I got some subvention support from state government. I got support from my local government, and they were paying bursary at that time. So students were able to, at least even if they don't get money for textbook, whatever you pay yearly as bursary, they use it to pay their school fees to support their parents. In the last 10 years, I don't know any local government, I don't know any state that has paid bursary to students. It's unfortunate. So we keep losing our students every day, and then sometimes you don't see your students for 1 month, and by the time they appear, as a teacher who shows concern, I call some of them, I reach out, and they tell us that I don't have transport to come to school. It's very pathetic.
Also speaking, Dr. Nkepriye Brisive expressed concern over the academic standard of newly admitted university students, describing their performance as shocking and a reflection of the poor foundation laid at the basic education level. He said government must prioritize quality primary and secondary education by providing well-equipped laboratories, practical learning, and an enabling environment that will prepare students for tertiary education. Both lecturers agree that without urgent and deliberate investment in the education sector, Nigeria risks continuing to produce graduates who are ill-equipped to meet the demands of an evolving global society.
The primary schools, the secondary schools, because sometimes what we see in 100 level is quite shocking. So they have to ensure that our primary and secondary schools are well funded, especially those government schools, and the standard is top notch. In that way, they can produce students that are ripe for university education, because some of them just graduate from, just leave secondary school from SS1 because they just want to be, the parents want to train them fast. So some of them graduate from SS1 and they're not really ready. Some SS2, and I know the government tries to regulate that that practice, but how serious have they been in enforcing such practices? So all those things have to be taken into consideration. The foundation, okay, the academic foundation is an issue, and it affects our young people a lot.
Meanwhile, a lecturer at the Rivers State University, Dr. Jesse Okedi, has expressed concern over the prolonged political crisis in Rivers State, saying the ongoing rift between Governor Siminalayi Fubara and the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has negatively affected governance, investment, and public confidence. Dr. Jesse also predicted that the 2027 elections could produce unexpected outcomes as political loyalties continue to deepen. Our correspondent now completes the story.
Speaking on the recent political developments in Rivers State, Dr. Jesse Okedi stated that there is no vacuum in government, noting that the governor's decisions regarding appointments, including the newly elected parliamentary leadership, are aimed at ensuring the smooth functioning of the state's political system. He, however, criticized the prolonged political dispute between Governor Siminalayi Fubara and Nyesom Wike, describing it as a source of confusion that has slowed development and discouraged investment in the state.
I'm sure there are vacuums that have been created by the retirement of others, because those that were permanent secretary, you can be permanent secretary today, they say if you ever get out as a permanent secretary, you are either forced out or you are retired. So it's him working with the system and knows those that will bring in their best to ensure the system doesn't crash. That's what he has done. I would rather they should have a rethink and understand that Rivers State is beyond persons. We should be looking at the future. What does all of these portend for our future, and how do
Away from that, former special advisor to Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara, Dr. Darlington Haji, has declared his support for the Rainbow Coalition, announcing Kingsley Chinda as his express and preferred candidate for 2027 governorship election. Dr. Darlington Haji made the statement during CEMTV's breakfast show News Surgery today. Our correspondent completes the report.
He said politics should be driven by the quality of candidates rather than the political parties, adding that he would not attend any further PDP meetings. Orji explained that he had stood with the governor until they came to a crossroad, stressing that his political loyalty now lies with the coalition.
But for me, wholeheartedly, I've decided to go back, taken from the orders of the governor, and even the governor has returned back to the Rainbow Coalition, and by the special grace of God, all of us will put our hands on the deck like usual to make sure that all the candidates who believe in our party and in the Rainbow Coalition wins.
He further stated that he remains committed to the leadership of Nyesom Wike and would support any political decision taken by him during the election season. According to him, election periods often bring new political realignments, with long-standing allies sometimes parting ways. He also noted that the political rift in the state began less than 100 days after the current administration assumed office.
We have had our time of difficulty, we have suffered, there are a lot of setbacks, and I'll give you one clear example. Remember that as soon as the governor came in, the FCT minister flagged up as a special guest on the ring road that goes across about 6 local governments in Rivers State. But you can go to Bogoro today, which is part of the ring road, and see the suffering. You will even imagine whether there are human beings that are living there. Even in my own area in Rokoku, Julius Berger pulled out of sight, even though we know how much that was paid. Everybody took advantage of the crisis because there was no clear authority. Nobody can assert authority. Nobody can discipline any person. People just, in fact, everybody became a lord of their own. And at the end of the day, we are suffering.
Elsewhere, the founder, managing director and chief executive officer of Bonjour Mills Limited, Ovaporiye Utoro, on Saturday, August 21st, 2026, celebrated his 50th birthday alongside the company's 10th anniversary at Aztec Archium in Port Harcourt, River State. The royal fathers, government officials, business leaders, and other distinguished guests in attendance. In a goodwill message led by his wife, his friends and family highlighted the growth of Bonjour bread across the Niger Delta and prayed for success and longevity for the celebrant and his business. A correspondent has the rest of the report.
Speaking at the event, Mr. Utoro said 2026 is significant to the Bonjour family as it marks 16 years since the bread business began, 10 years of Bonjour Mill Limited, and his 50th birthday. He said the company now operates 7 branches across Rivers, Bayelsa, and Delta states and employs about 1,500 staffs, supported by over 300 distributors.
It's not just a celebration of my 50th birthday. It's also this year is also a remarkable year because Bonjour Mills Limited as a company is also 10 years. And this is also my 16th year of my business journey. So God has really been faithful to us. Greater years ahead. If we could have gone this far in 10 years, I know the next 10 years will take us around Africa. You never can imagine where you will be. Just depend on God and put in your best. Anytime I'm opportune to take a seminar, I always tell people there is a God factor and there is that you must put in by yourself. If you pray from today till tomorrow and you don't put in that your own, God will not act.
A major highlight was the reading of Mr. Utoro's autobiography by his daughter, Jemima Utoro, who reflected on his humble beginnings, the loss of Bonjour's father before birth, and how faith and perseverance shaped his journey from hardship to entrepreneurial success. Goodwill messages were delivered by his wife, Mrs. Glory Utoro. Family members and friends described him as resilient, God-fearing, and committed to creating opportunities for others.
Today, I celebrate not just your 50th birthday, but the extraordinary man you are. You are a loving husband, a pillar of strength, a man of wisdom, integrity, and excellence. Your life has been a blessing to our family and to everyone privileged to know you. At 50, you stand as a testament to God's faithfulness, grace, and favor.
Guests present also took turns to wish him a happy 50th birthday, offering prayers and heartfelt congratulations while celebrating the growth of Bonjour Mill Limited and its contribution to employment and economic development in the Niger Delta and nationwide.
Happy birthday, my son. Many years and prosperity. I can't talk finish. I short of words.
Friend that is doing his 50th birthday today, a very nice guy, and I wish him more fruitful, more blessed years ahead.
Celebration of
a very gentleman,
the pride of the Niger
gentleman,
and a man of goodwill and great conscience.
In the next 5 years, the sky will be his limit.
I want to appreciate the celebrant. I want to thank God for his life, for God making him to climb the 5th star. Going higher. Higher than higher. If there's any other one.
Wish him more fruitful years, strong years, and more progressive business. He will reap the fruit of his labor. He will live to reap the fruit of his labor.
Well, definitely that is correct. We wish him all the best because for him to clock 50 years, he must have achieved. And look at his celebration. It's almost everywhere on the grade of the society they are here. And as a member of the Zone 16, PCRC, we welcome him and sincerely ask God to give him more blessing.
I wish Bonjour happy birthday, long life and prosperity.
Bonjour, Mr. Bonjour. I wish him a wonderful celebration. This is the Golden Jubilee, and it's a world celebration. I wish him everything good, and I wish him more wins in life.
To my big bro, I wish him longevity, good health, and vitality. I pray that God Almighty perfect all that concerns him.
Happy birthday, big brother. I want you to know that I love you so much, and I continue to pray that God continues to provide for you, preserve you and your family, continues to give you your heartfelt desires. I just wish you a happy birthday and a long life and prosperity.
I wish him all the best. Anybody can wish himself. He is a versatile young man. It will interest you to know that he trained as an engineer. He went into the confectionery industry and he has made a name. I always love his bread. Thank God that he has clocked 50 years today. I wish him all the best. Any young man can wish himself. With his speed is growing, the sky will be his limit. And may God bless him abundantly. In Jesus' name.
Mr. Morrison is a very nice person to us. He has been through with us throughout his relationship. We are very, very close. He's a kind and gentleman. I wish him more years in good health and prosperity.
I want to wish him an awesome 50th birthday celebration. This is just the beginning. He will continually excel. He will expand in his business. He will have divine health, and I wish him great prosperity.
Miracle CEMTV News.
To the national, saying where the federal government has directed vice chancellors, rectors and provosts of tertiary institutions across the country to dismiss any student found culpable after due investigation of involvement in kidnapping or related criminal activities. Minister of Education Dr. Tunji Alausa issued a directive during a meeting with the Pro-Chancellor, Governing Council and Management of the Federal University of Lafia in Abuja. Alausa said the directive followed concerns over reports that some students were allegedly involved in kidnapping operations carried out outside their campuses, stressing that tertiary institutions must not become safe havens for criminal elements. In another development, the Joint National Public Service Negotiating Council, JNPSNC, trade union side, has called on the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Taiwo Oyedele, to convene an urgent meeting over the delayed payment of 2 months' wage award and the implementation of the 40% peculiar allowance for federal workers. In a letter addressed to the ministers signed by the Council's National Secretary Benga Oluoye on behalf of the National Chairman Benjamin Yanto, the JNPSNC expressed disappointment that 2 previous letters on the matter had gone unanswered. According to the union, the proposed meeting is aimed at finding an amicable resolution to the unresolved welfare issues and preventing what it described as a looming industrial crisis. The council said its demands focus on 2 key issues: the implementation of 40% peculiar allowance approved by the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission and the payment of 2 months outstanding wage award covering March and April 2026. Away from that, the Adamawa State Police Command has launched an investigation into the alleged shooting of a businessman by military personnel in Mubi North local government area of the state. The command spokesperson, SP Suleiman Ngujoje, disclosed this in a statement issued today, saying the incident was reported to the police on August 3, 2026. According to the statement, the report was made by Muslim Abubakar of Yelwa Ward, Mobi North, who alleged that his younger brother, Suleiman Abubakar, sustained a gunshot injury during an encounter with military personnel on the night of August 2nd, 2026. He alleged that his younger brother, Suleiman Abubakar, sustained a gunshot injury during an encounter with some military personnel on the night of August 2026 upon receipt of the report. Report says police operative led by the divisional police officers, Mobinor Division, immediately visited the scene to ensure that the victim received prompt medical attention. Meanwhile, the Commissioner of Police in Adamawa State, CP Kabiru Azan, has directed the State Criminal Investigation Department to conduct a thorough and impartial investigation into the circumstances surrounding the incident. The command said the investigation is aimed at establishing the facts surrounding the alleged shooting and ensuring that justice is served. In Africa, the bodies of Zimbabwean national Nantambo Zandili Nsuma and her two daughters have arrived in Harare ahead of their burial in Bulawayo. The trio were allegedly killed in the United Kingdom last month, while the children's father remains in custody in South Africa. Investigators suspect Nantabo's husband, Ndodana Nkaishi Nsuma, who is also the father of the two girls, as being responsible for their death. Meanwhile, authorities in the United Kingdom and South Africa are continuing legal proceedings related to the case, including efforts linked to the ongoing criminal investigation. Still in Africa, Mali Finance Minister says the country could raise up to $883 million from recent mining reforms to help fund energy, water and transport projects. Minister Alassane Sanao, who made the statement on state television, said the new Infrastructure Development Fund had mobilized about $194 million between January 1st, 2025 and June 30th, 2026. Recall that officials said in December that a government audit had recovered about $1.3 billion in alleged arrears from mining companies. The Malian government has established the Malian Office of Records and Precious Substances, a state body tasked with regulating and centralizing the country's artisanal gold trade. Elsewhere, the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has called for united action on border security after the chaotic influx of tens of thousands of migrants from Morocco into the Spanish enclave of Ceuta last week. Spain estimates that about 69,500 migrants have now returned to Morocco, exceeding initial estimates of 50,000, with the official death toll on the Spanish side of the border standing at 72, with 11 deaths on the Moroccan side. Reports say EU Interior Minister will have emergency talks by video conference to discuss the issue, adding that the scenes in Ceuta have strained relations among some of the EU's 27 member states. Still on the foreign scene, French authorities have said more than 150 migrants have been rescued after the boat they were using to cross the channel caught fire today. It comes just a day after Prime Minister Andy Baham pledged his government will be relentless in curbing the number of people arriving in the UK on small boats. Reports say the boat was attempting to cross to the UK when its engine caught fire, adding that 150 people have been rescued and are being taken to port in Boling-sur-Mer. Still to come in the news, President Tinubu applauds Team Nigeria's 24-medal achievement, pledges more investment in sports. To stay with us.
This is CEMTV News. Truth first, you next. Stay informed to stay empowered on.
Many thanks for staying with us. Now to the concluding part of the news at noon. In business news, First Holdco PLC has emerged as Nigeria's most valuable bank by market capitalization after its share price surged by more than 600% in just over 2 years under the leadership of Group Chairman Femi Tedola. The bank stocks rose from about 9 to 22 per share, from 90 naira to 22 naira per share in early 2024 to 134 naira, pushing its market value above 6 trillion naira on the Nigerian exchange market. The growth was driven by strong investor confidence, a successful 149.56 billion Naira rights issue, improved capital strength, and robust financial performance. A financial institution reported a profit after tax of 526.13 trillion naira for the first half of 2026, representing an 81.6% increase from the same period last year, while profit before tax rose to 653.54 billion naira. First Holdco also adopted a dividend policy to pay at least 60% of its annual profit to shareholders as a third-pillar strategy of strengthening the bank's balance sheet, improving profitability, and enhancing shareholder returns continues to drive its transformation. Still in business, Dangote Petroleum Refinery has submitted an initial public offering and IPO application to the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC), marking a major step towards its planned listing on the Nigerian exchange market. A Director General of the SEC, Emomotimi Agama, who confirmed that the refinery's advisors are working with the regulator on the application, said that the company is targeting September 2026 for the offering. He however stressed that neither the IPO nor the listing date has been approved. The IPO filing follows Dangote's refinery's successful $2.5 billion private placement in July, which the company said was aimed at funding its operations and expansion plans. According to the company, the fundraising exercise was oversubscribed by 3.7 times, attracting investors including African Finance Corporation and an investment vehicle backed by Afrexim Bank. The company has described the transaction as Africa's largest disclosed private equity placement, valuing the refinery at an estimated $40 billion. In health, the Niger state government has begun the enrollment of 66,000 vulnerable residents into the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund to expand free healthcare coverage and reduce the cost of medical treatment for poor households. The exercise, which will cover all 25 local government areas, was flagged off in Mina alongside the unveiling of the First Lady Aja Fatima Mohammed Bago as the NK Health Insurance Ambassador. Commissioner for Secondary and Tertiary Healthcare, Dr. Mutala Mohammed Bagana, said over 121,000 residents have already benefited from the scheme, adding that the new enrollment will further improve access to essential healthcare services. Reports say as NK Health Insurance Ambassador, the First Lady pledged to promote health insurance for women, children, and elderly persons living with disabilities and other vulnerable groups, stressing that no one should be denied healthcare because of inability to pay. In sports, President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Team Nigeria for its impressive outing at the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland, where the country won 24 medals. In a statement issued by Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, Tinubu, who said the athletes had flown the nation's flag with dignity and pride throughout the competition, added that the medals were a testament to their hard work and perseverance. Nigeria finished the games with 10 gold, 7 silvers, and 7 bronze medals. Still in sports, Ondo lawmaker Benga Mole has called on the federal and Ondo state government, as well as other stakeholders, to invest more in grassroots football development to help revive Nigeria's football fortunes. Omole, who met the call at the grand finale of the 8th edition of the Agokun on the 20th annual football competition in Oka Okoko, said identifying and nurturing young talents would strengthen professional clubs and the national teams while giving gifted players the opportunity to succeed. A former lawmaker said the competition has produced several professional players since it began in 2018, including one now playing in Europe. He added that about 10 promising players were discovered this year, with some set to join an academy in Abuja for further development. On entertainment, former P-Square singer Peter Okoye, also known as Mr. P, has made fresh allegations against his elder brother and former P-Square manager Jude Okoye. In the 5th part of his video series, Peter claimed Jude once threatened to shoot him during a disagreement over the ownership of a property in the United States. Peter also alleged that Jude later presented documents that would have transferred his ownership rights to Jude's wife, but he refused to sign them. He further claimed that Jude had threatened his life several times, including an incident that was recorded on video. The singer also disputed claims that Jude financially invested in P-Square when the group started, saying their eldest brother was the one who provided financial support. P-Square, made up of Peter and his twin brother Paul Okoye, split in 2017, reunited in 2021, and disbanded again in 2024 over these agreements involving finances and management. That's CEMTV News at 6, but before we go, a quick recap of the news at noon. We reported that university lecturers are calling for sweeping reforms in the educational sector over the growing number of ill-prepared graduates. We also told you that the Federal Workers Union are seeking an urgent meeting with Finance Minister over unpaid wage award and allowance. On the foreign scene, we told you that French authorities say more than 150 migrants have been rescued after a boat caught fire in the channel. And in sports, we reported that President Tinubu has applauded Team Nigeria's 24-medal achievement and is pledging more investment in sport. Many thanks for watching CEMTV News at noon. Do ensure to follow us via our social media handles at CEMTVPLUS across X, Facebook, Threads and Instagram. We're also available on Nicomsat. Do well to watch us on Free to Air. I am Francis Oyima, edit. Many thanks and do enjoy the rest of your day. Good afternoon.
This is CEMTV News at noon.